Hey guys, I'm AfroGeek PlusUltraNappy and welcome back to a brand new video. So in today's video, I'm bringing you guys a whole new series on the channel. This year, I definitely want to dabble and experiment in different content and making different videos that I normally don't make on the channel. And this is the first episode of one of these said series that I want to start off. Now, for those of you that don't know, I've talked about my love for Yu-Gi-Oh! On the channel, regardless if it was the anime or actually playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I've always watched Yu-Gi-Oh! On Kids WB as a kid. Honestly, I think once it got to Battle City is when I really started falling in love with Yu-Gi-Oh! And then of course my love for Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is just through the roof. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I love the Elemental Hero cards. I loved a lot of the monsters from that said series. And then Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds was also another really good one. And then after 5Ds, honestly, that's when I stopped watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And with that being said, I am bringing you guys a series called What's in That Deck Box. It's basically me showing you guys what decks I play with. Now, all these decks throughout the videos that you may see, like the message said before the video started, some of these may be finalized, may not be finalized. I try to show you guys finalized decks as best as I can, but throughout time, maybe even before recording or after recording, I might switch some cards out because maybe I could throw in something better. Maybe certain tactics didn't work. Tried to record the first video of this a couple weeks back. I originally was going to show you guys a whole nother deck than what I was going to show you in this video, but I went on Reddit and I joined a couple Yu-Gi-Oh! Community pages, and a lot of them told me that the deck I had was complete, utter garbage. And by that being said, I had to restart and I guess rebuild my deck from scratch, which I am going to do. So with that being said, I'm going to be showing you guys this deck box right here. So you're probably thinking, what's in this blue deck box? These monsters that are in this deck box is Elemental Hero. Remember how I told y'all I love Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, right? Your boy loves his Elemental Hero monsters. So I just recently kind of did some digging through his deck where I took some cards out, put some new ones in. I've been going back and forth with this deck a lot. This is honestly one of my favorite decks to play with. You know, I have quite a few, extra deck monsters. There are some that I still want to get for this, but they're kind of expensive right now, so I'm waiting for the price to either decrease or to where I get more of a steady income in. I have a job, don't get me wrong. Your boy ain't that broke, but I'm not trying to go broke buying a lot of these Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. So I gotta work with what I got. So personally, I don't know why. I mean, it doesn't really matter what deck box you use. I'm just a fan of the Ultra Pro right there. You see Ultra Pro deck boxes. I don't know why I'm a huge fan of those, but I just am. And this isn't me trying to say that I'm sponsored by them by any means, me talking about them. I just really like Ultra Pro and I love their decks. That's just all I'm saying. I'm not sponsored, but Ultra Pro, sponsor your boy. The first episode is always gonna be kind of like a pilot. I might change the filming angles differently so that way it's not me flipping up and holding cards like this like I be doing when I unbox Pokemon cards. But for now, it's the first episode, so again, this is just kind of like a test drive to see how things play out. So I'm gonna be splitting up a couple of the extra deck monsters, not a couple, I'm gonna split them all up. I'm gonna show you all those first, and I'm gonna start off with Elemental Hero Great Tornado. Excellent card. I really do like this one. Obviously, I mean, you need like one Elemental Hero monster, one wing monster. You can obviously use Elemental Hero Avian to kind of go in. You can use that and then just a regular Elemental Hero monster. But again, that's just a simple, easy fusion summon right there. And then you got Vision Hero Trinity, which is 3 hero monsters right there. Again, it's pretty simple. If you have like an Elemental Hero Wild Heart, Elemental Hero Avian, Elemental Hero Bellatrix or Bernatrix right there, that's 3 Elemental Hero monsters. Boom, right there, you can summon this one. Elemental Hero Marner. I'm bad with pronouncing names, so I apologize. Elemental Hero Bubbleman, Elemental Hero Avian. So if you have those, you're good. Elemental Hero Avian and Bubbleman can actually be used quite a bit to summon numerous different Elemental Hero fusion summon monsters. Recommend getting those 2 in your deck, especially if you want Elemental Hero Flamed Wingman. If you want to get that card, which is a card that I'm trying to get, you definitely are going to want to have Elemental Hero Avian. At least a few copies, I would say. At least like 1, maybe 2 copies. Elemental Hero Wild Wingman right there, which is, I think, Elemental Hero Avian and Elemental Hero Wild Heart. It's 1900 attack, 2300 defense. So the attack isn't the best. It's not high enough. It's decent if, you're trying to just get a monster summoned out there on the field or fusion summon. If you just want to get one out there on your opponent, or if your opponent has no monsters, just to get, a little sum to their life points, then there you go. That's something, you know what I mean? And then this is another one of my favorites, Elemental Hero Grand Merge. So this one I got put on by Duel Links. It's kind of might be hard to see some of these, so again, forgive me if you can't really see them. This is another one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! no extra deck cards. And then you got Hail Elemental Hero Dusktopia, a pretty, you know, tough card. I mean, 3000 defense, 3000 attack, but you need one Destiny Hero fusion monster and one Destiny Hero monster. Elemental Hero, I'm not even gonna pronounce this, but you need one Elemental Hero and one Dark monster. 2500 attack, 2000 defense, there we go. You know, it's something. I'm not the best, but I have some knowledge, so I can give some people some advice, but I'm not like, you know, God himself, where I know everything there is about Yu-Gi-Oh! So I can't like sit here and say, my child, let me bless you with the gifts of the Egyptian gods real quick. I can't sit there and do that. Before y'all come at me in the comments saying, oh, why would you play that card? Why would you use that? You know so much about Yu-Gi-Oh! Elemental Hero Core. This was just one that I got randomly. There's really no point in getting this one. I mean, it's 3 Elemental Hero monsters, so it's the same as another extra deck monster. Again, it's more of like a, you want to fill up your extra deck, then this was just a card that I wanted to do just so I could fill up my extra deck. You know what I mean? And 27 attack, 2200 defense. It ain't bad. I'm gonna show you guys the monster cards real quick. So I got Elemental Hero Woodsman right there, really good one. You know, I love the effect on it where it says once per turn during your standby phase, you can add 1 polymerization from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You know, I mean, 1000 attack, it ain't none, but the defense is 2000, and you know, it's a level 4, so you can, you know, normal summon it, and plus it'll help you fusion summon monsters quickly. Then you got Elemental Hero Stratos, again, another good Elemental Hero monster with awesome effects. I mean, what is it? The attack 1800, okay, defense 300, not bad. And you can destroy 1 spell or trap card on the field up to the number of Elemental Hero monsters you control, except this card. And then you can add 1 monster from your deck to your hand, 1 hero monster. So there you go. And then you got Elemental Hero Bladage, which is a really strong one where it says if this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent, 2600 attack, 1800 defense. Elemental Hero Prism, where it has a really good thing where it says once per turn, you can reveal 1 fusion monster from your extra deck and send 1 fusion materials whose name is listed on that field or on that card from the deck to the graveyard, and this card's name becomes that sent monster until the end phase. So again, not a bad card, not a bad effect. I got Elemental Hero Heat there, Winged Karibo, you gotta have a Winged Karibo. Elemental Hero Necro Shade, or once while this card is in the graveyard, 1 level 5 or higher Elemental Hero monster you normally summon can be summoned without tributing. That's a really good effect right there. Evil Hero Malicious Edge, Elemental Hero Neos Alias? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Elemental Hero Avian, like I said, for some of these fusion monsters, you at least will need to have an Elemental Hero Avian. So I would at least suggest getting like 2 of these cards, maybe 3 tops. I don't know, but I definitely would suggest 2 of these. Elemental Hero Bubble Man, again, another one that you would need. Fusion summoning quite a few of these Elemental Hero monsters. Elemental Hero Shadow Mist is a really good one. Elemental Hero Burstinatrix, I hope I pronounced that right. Yeah, Burstinatrix right there. Elemental Hero Ocean. Got Winged Karibo level 10. I'll explain more about this card once I get to the spells and traps. Elemental Hero Neos right there. One of my favorite Elemental Hero monsters. Has such cool design whenever I used to do it on Duel Links. And then we got Elemental Hero Wildheart right there. Again, another one that I talked about that you need to fusion summon some of these monsters. You got Elemental Hero Solid Soldier, which has a really good effect on him that I like a lot. Another Elemental Hero Avian. Because like I said, you need at least like 2 or 3 I would suggest in your deck. Alright, so quickly we're going to move on to these spells and the traps. So for spells, I got the Warrior Returning Alive, which you can target 1 warrior monster in your graveyard and add that to your hand. Lightning Vortex is kind of like a cop-out kind of thing where you disregard 1 card and destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls on their side of the field. I have Lightning Vortex in at least almost all my deck. Righteous Justice, which destroys 1 spell or trap cards equal to the number of Elemental Hero monsters you control, which I just mentioned previously in one of my monsters effects that has this. If you don't have any Elemental Heroes that have that effect, this is a card that's already in like an Elemental Hero like structure deck, because this was an Elemental Hero structure deck that I bought that I just kind of just revamped and just turned into my own little deck. Pot of Duality, everybody knows Pot of Duality. And you got Emergency Call, which will allow you to add 1 Elemental Hero monster from your deck to your hand. I would honestly have like maybe 2 of these in your deck, because that's not bad, especially if you really need a fusion summon monsters. Oversoul, which is another really good one that I was debating on taking out or keeping in, but then again, the effect is really good. So everybody knows refusion, polymerization. And then you got Transcendent Wings, which is good because if you want to summon Winged Karibo level 10, you need this card. You cannot special summon Winged Karibo level 10 if you do not have this card in your deck. Again, another emergency call, because again, why not? I would at least have 2 fusion recovery right there. All right, so moving on to the traps. Decounter, which is when a Destiny hero monster you control is targeted for an attack, destroy the attacking monster. Really good one to have in your deck. Sakuri Armor, butchered the hell out of that. I already know I did. Activate only when an opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy the attacking monster. So same thing. So sometimes in some cases it's not always best to have copies of the same card but with a different name, because then it becomes overbearing and unnecessary. Draining Shield. So I really love Draining Shield because if your opponent declares an attack on you, let's say the opponent had 4,000 attack, you can flip that up, Draining Shield, and when that 4,000 attack becomes 4,000 life points added to the life points that you currently have. So again, it's a pretty baller move using that card. I love it. You got Hero Signal, which of course if you watch GX you already know what this card does. Arrival appears, which I really like. It says select one face-up monster on your opponent's side of the field, special summon from your hand one monster that has the same level as the selected monster, which is a really good trap card. If you ask me, I think it's really good. And then Hero Blast, which targets one elemental hero normal monster in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. Then if your opponent controls any monsters with attack less than or equal to that target's attack, destroy one of them. So this one kind of could be hit or miss depending on the card your opponent has. A hero emerges. So when your opponent declares an attack, he or she randomly selects one card from your hand. If it's a monster, special summon it on your side of the field. If not, send the card to the graveyard. Again, this one is also a hit or miss, but let's say if your opponent, did elemental hero Neos, boom, that's like a 2,500 attack monster. You're good. Fusion Reverse, and then Magical Arm Shield, which is a really good one that I like too. When your opponent declares an attack while you control a monster, target one face-up monster your opponent controls, except for the attacking monster. Take control of that target until the end of the battle phase, and if you do, it is attacked instead. If your opponent has 2 monsters, you can use the other one that he's not using to attack, bring it over to your side, and then that monster will take its place. Your opponent will just destroy one of his own monsters, which is an actual really good card, which is why I like it. And then of course you got Mirror Force, where if your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can destroy all attacking monsters on your opponent's side of the field. Those are just all the cards, but I had Spell, Trap, and Monster Wise, and Extra Deck Monster Wise in my Elemental Hero deck. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel if you are brand new. Just experiment with these kind of videos, especially when I do a lot of these deck videos. So you might see a different format in episode 2. I'm not entirely sure, but this is more of a pilot as far as this series goes. So hopefully, if you guys like the video, and you might be able to give me some pointers or tell me what you think is wrong with my deck, what you think I might need to add, or if you liked a card, then let me know down all that stuff in the comment section below. If you want to connect more with me on my social media accounts, definitely hit them up, and a link in the description below. We're talking Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Reddit, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I am AfroGeek +UltraNappy, and your boy is